Hello everyone, welcome to this $1,000 build we're going to talk about today. And well, if you have any comments, please let them down below. If you have anything to say, like this component is very bad, or this component doesn't work, or something, please tell me down below, and so we can have a little discussion, or I can update the build. Now, that being said, this is the $1,000 build. If you are interested in an $800 build, I recommend you to check my channel, because I've uploaded one, I think now a week ago, so that's pretty interesting. Now, let's get straight into the build. The processor I have picked is the AMD Ryzen 5 3600. It is a 6-core processor with hyperthreading, so it has 12 threads. For people that don't know what threads are, okay, you have 6 cores effectively, so actually you have 6 cores, but the PC thinks you have 12 cores, so 12 threads. 6 threads of those are fake, because you only have 6 actual cores. This can be very handy when multitasking, etc. It has a core clock of 3.6 GHz, with a boost clock of 4.2 GHz. It has a Zen 2 microarchitecture, because the Zen Plus architecture is simply not worth it anymore of getting. It doesn't compete with these Zen 2 architectures. Or at least, like, the second gen AMD Ryzen, I should say, isn't worth getting anymore because of the Zen 2 because of the Zen 2 microarchitecture. It's just a good CPU and definitely worth getting for the price. It's a good CPU for the price range of $800 to $1,000. After that, I would recommend the 3600X series. It's just a little bit more expensive, but there's higher core clocks. Now, up to the motherboard. The motherboard is the MSI B450 Tomahawk Max. It's an ATX form factor motherboard. It has AM4 sockets. It has an M.2 slot. It has 4 RAM slots for DDR4 RAM. It supports our RAM, and it's just good for the price. Definitely worth getting. It has crossfire. It is crossfire capable. Only thing you have to be cautious of is that when you put an M.2 slot in here, 2 of the SATA 6GB ports will be disabled, so you have to pay attention to that. It's a good motherboard, and it's worth getting. Okay, that was the motherboard. Now let's get straight into the RAM. The RAM is the G.Skill Ripjaws V16GB dual channel. So you have two 8GB RAM sticks. Dual channel is simply faster than single channel. DDR4, it's 3600 MHz. Our motherboard supports that, even higher. My motherboard even supports 4000 or 4133. It's just good memory. Not much to be said about the memory. It's just good memory. It's just good value memory. It's not much to be said about RAM. It's 16 gigs, so it should be enough for the upcoming years. And when you think you need more, then you can easily stick another 8 gigs, or 16 gigs in your PC, because you have 4 RAM slots. Now to the storage, which is a real treat. The Seagate Barracuda compute 2 TB 3.5 and 7200 RPM. This is a 2 TB hard drive, simply for your games that you want to store. You know, games take up a lot of space these days. It's crazy, and they will only take up more space as we go. So I have chosen for a 2 TB hard drive, so you don't have to upgrade your storage in the upcoming years, so you'll be good for, well, a lot of years. Well, depending on how many games you download, of course. Since this is a PC, you will very likely only download digital games and not get it off a DVD. There's not a hard DVD player in this build, so if you wanted that, well, then you have to get one yourself. I'm really sorry for that, but most people just download the games off of Steam or Epic Game Store or anything like that, or Origin. Now, that was your hard drive. Now the storage device for your OS. which is the crucial P1 500GB M.2 2280 NVMe solid state drive. This is just a quick, a really fast SSD or M.2. 500GB, so that's plenty for your OS and maybe some else. Maybe like Call of Duty Warzone that you want to put on there, so you can fire that up really quickly. Also, this has about a reading speed of 2GB, so that's plenty enough. This 2000 megabytes per second. Also, it has write speeds of nearly 1GB, so near 950 MB per second. And this is just quickly, it's just fast enough for anything that you require. 500GB is plenty, so and every other game that you don't really mind having to wait a little to boot up, you can put on your hard drive, which is 2 terabytes. Now, onto the GPU. The thing everybody wants to know is the MSI Radeon RX 5700 8GB MECH OC. It's just a good and really cheap RX 5700. The RX 5700 has, at least this one has, a core clock of 1550 MHz with a boost clock of 1750 MHz. It has 8GB of VRAM GDDR6, and it's of the brand MSI, so that's pretty good. It has one HDMI port, 3 display ports, and only requires one 8-pin connector. Also, the card looks pretty good in my opinion. And that was the video card. It's not much to be said. It can play every game at 1080p ultra graphics pretty solidly. So definitely a video card I recommend for the AMD build. Now up to the case. The case is the NZXT H510 ATX mid-tower case. I have here chosen for a white one, but you can also choose for a black one. I'm pretty sure they have this one in black too, which will probably suit a bit better. Now, in my opinion, the case is always personal preference, as I always say. The case is $70, and as long as it's ATX and the video card fits in it, then you'll be good. Just make sure it's around $70. It's an ATX mid-tower case and the video card fits. Then you'll be good. And well, that's really it. Not much to be said about the case. It has 2 internal 3.5-inch bays and 2 internal 2.5-inch bays, so also some upgrading capability. Its stores are on motherboard perfectly, so that's good. And NZXT, these mid-tower cases, especially if this is your first build, it's just a really easy case to build in. That's also why you see them a lot. That was really it. Not much to be said about the case. It's just a case, just a piece of metal, I guess. Now, up to the PSU or the power supply. It's the EVGA BQ 600 watts 80 plus bronze certified semi-modular ATX power supply. It's just a good power supply, 600 watts, so you even have some upgrading capabilities, because PCPartPicker says this will probably around 500 watts of wattage this PC will use. So 600 watts, you still have some upgrading capabilities. It is semi-modular, so you can, well, clean up your case a bit easier, and you don't have all of these cables hanging around in your case that you don't really use. Also, it's 80 plus bronze certified, so it doesn't use as much power, or it doesn't waste as much power or anything. It's just a good power supply, not much to be said else about it. It's cheap, not really cheap, I must say. It's $80. It's not really cheap, but it's a good power supply. And that was the build already. Our total right now on this day is $986. Can become a bit more, can become a bit less, I don't know. Now, this build is if you have the money, this build is perfect, in my opinion. Also, if you don't have the money, you only have $800, check out my $800 video. If you have half of this money, $500, check out my $500 build, which I made a couple of days ago, not that long ago. I hope you guys enjoyed the build. If not, well, tell me what bothered you, please. I appreciate all comments, and I will reply to most of them, if not all. Now, thanks for listening to me. may I see you guys again in another video. It's not really that I'm going to see you guys, but you guys are going to hear me. So yeah, if you have any comments about this build, please let me know. Even I can learn about these things. And well, see you guys later. Bye.